In today's DIY video, grab Dollar Tree Christmas Ornaments, High End Geode DIY, best ideas yet. We are using Dollar Tree Christmas Ornaments and transforming them into High End Geode Ornaments. Gorgeous crystal Christmas ornaments to make your Christmas tree sparkle. You're going to love this Dollar Tree Geode Christmas Ornament DIY. So stick around and let's go make some stuff and jump right into this. To begin with, I got this creative Versatool on Amazon because I needed a hot knife, and this does that plus wood burning, which I've been dying to try. I will link this tool in the description box below for you. Now, I lost the real footage I had of me working on the actual ornaments I use, so I am reenacting this part where I use the hot Versatool to cut through the ornaments from Dollar Tree, which I am doing right here. I used a marker to rough sketch the geode shape that I wanted, and then used this hot tool to very carefully and very slowly, I might add, cut into the plastic ornament. And I will tell you guys, this cut through them like butter. And now I'm a fan of this tool, which again, I will link for you below. So I cut a kind of uneven, a little jagged-ish shape, a little bit like a mouth or wavy lips or something like that. So now I have my white plastic ornament with a hole in it, and it's ready to be geode? I don't know what you would call it, but we want to make it into a geode. I had some black crushed glass in my stash, which I think is from Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree. I'm not sure, but I will link something comparable for you below. It was not black enough for my liking, so I put some of the crushed glass in a plastic cup, and I use my Tim Holtz pitch black alcohol ink, and that's just a few drops, stirred it around with my popsicle stick, and then poured that black glass out onto a paper towel to dry a little before it was ready to use. Using some very light blue crushed glass that's also from my stash, and I will also find a comparable crushed glass to link for you below. This time I used my Tim Holtz pure white alcohol ink, and I'll link all the different color alcohol inks I use for you below. I mixed several drops of this white with a pale blue glass, just to make it all an opaque white color, and then I poured that out on a paper towel so that it would dry. Using even more of the pale blue glass to make gold crushed glass pieces. We're doing it the same way using Tim Holtz gold alcohol ink, and I did a little extra ink on this batch. I went through it twice because I wanted my gold to be really well saturated and nice and metallic, and then I poured that gold crushed glass out so that it would dry. I wanted the base layer inside of my geode to look like clear crystals, and I have an insane amount of this clear plastic ice or large jewels or table scatter, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I have bags and bags left over from when my girls were in high school sports and we did banquets and stuff like that, and I love being able to put them to good use. They're acrylic, so they are relatively light and, in my opinion, crystal looking. So I used some dabs of hot glue to glue each jewel down until the whole inside of that ornament is covered, and then glue a few more on top of those just to fill out the inside of the ornament a little bit more. And they have jewels like that in Dollar Tree, but I will find something comparable to link for you in case you can't find it. Now at the Dollar Tree, they have this colored glass vase filler, and I happened to find this bright green color, and that color worked for my idea on this first ornament. So I'm using more hot glue, and I apply a layer of colored glass over the clear crystals, and I'm not going to the edge. I'm just leaving a line of clear crystals that's going to go around the outside, if that makes sense to you. I apply these kind of the same way you would with glitter. So I put the glue down, and then I sprinkle the glass, and then pour the loose pieces out and go back, and I do this over and over until I have the coverage of green that I'm looking for. Going back to my insane amount of clear ice jewels from my stash, I grabbed a handful of them, put them in a plastic cup along with some Tim Holtz alcohol ink in the color Meadow, which made them into these gorgeous green colored gemstone looking crystals. And I used more hot glue and glued those big green gemstone crystals in the middle of the lighter green crushed glass so that my light green crushed glass was then framing those large gemstones, and then the clear crystal was framing the light green crushed glass. Then I'm going to take those opaque white glass pieces that we had made earlier with the alcohol ink, and I want to use them to outline the outside of this hole that we had cut out, so that will cover up and hide the jagged plastic edges. So I'm using hot glue, and I place the white glass pieces one by one around the cutout space. Next, I want to outline the white glass line with a gold glass line. So again, using my hot glue, I place individual gold crushed glass pieces to surround the white crushed glass line that we just made. And spoiler alert, I know you saw me make some deep black crushed glass earlier in the video because I thought I'd want to outline this with black too, but I changed my mind. So we kind of made that black glass for nothing. Oh well. Now, I don't know what possessed me on this first ornament to do the outside of the ornament last as opposed to first before we added all of this glass, but nevertheless, I decided to give the outside of the ornament a stone or a marble-like look. So going back to my Tim Holtz gold alcohol ink, I use a combination of the gold ink, straight 91% alcohol in that little squeeze bottle, and some canned air to blow that gold color around and get some marble-like effects. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know how much I love using these alcohol inks, and mainly because even if you're not sure what direction you're going in with these, you usually end up with something kind of cool looking, and that was definitely the case here as well. I only used one color, that's the gold, and the air and alcohol to manipulate it and move it around the ornament just to get this marble-like effect. And this is how the first of my geode Christmas ornaments turned out. I was very happy with how this ornament looked, and I just wish that the lighting and the video did it justice because color-wise and sparkle-wise, the ornament is really magical. I love looking at it, and not bad for a $1.25 Dollar Tree Christmas ornament. On my second Christmas ornament, I wised up and started out with working on the outside of the ornament, which is the smart way to do it. So again, using nothing but gold alcohol ink, 91% alcohol in a tiny little squeeze bottle, and some canned air. I made a marble-like finish by blowing that gold ink all around for the outside of ornament number 2, and the alcohol inks dry very quickly, so we are ready to work on the inside in no time at all. So same as the first ornament, we're going to fill up and fill out the inside of this ornament with these large acrylic gems from my stash using hot glue to attach them. I wanted this geode to be a purple kind of amethyst color, so I mixed some of that pale blue crushed glass and some of my large clear acrylic gems and some Tim Holtz alcohol ink in the color Current, which is a very dark purple. And then I gave those glass of gems a chance to dry before I started gluing them, and I glued the small purple crushed glass to the center of the clear gems in that ornament. And then after I had added all of the small glass pieces that I wanted, I glued my large purple gems, and that was to the very middle, just like we had done with our first ornament. I covered up the ugly, jagged plastic edge of the hole with some of those white opaque glass pieces that we had made earlier, just like we did with the first ornament. Then I outlined around the white glass with our gold crushed glass, again, like we did on the first ornament. And this is how our second geode Christmas ornament turned out. Again, I wish the lighting and video made it easier to see the rich jewel tone colors in this ornament. It is such a high-end look while still being super festive and colorful. On ornament number 3, I decided to not color the outside of the ornament, just to leave it white to see how I liked the look of that in the end. So you will have to be the judge of that. Just like the first 2 ornaments, we fill up the inside with large clear acrylic gems to start off with. And this time I colored both the small crushed glass and the large gemstones with some Tim Holtz alcohol ink in the color Pool, which is a really nice light turquoise blue. I fill the inside middle of the clear gemstones with those small turquoise crushed glass pieces, and then I follow that up with the large turquoise gems in the center of the small glass pieces. And then we cover up the plastic edge of the ornament with some of those opaque white pieces of glass, just like we did in our first two ornaments. And lastly, I outlined the white glass pieces with some gold crushed glass. And this is how my third geode Christmas ornament turned out. Now, seeing as how my favorite color combination is turquoise and gold, this is obviously a winner to me. I'm unsure about the plain white outside of this ornament, but let me know in the comments your thoughts on keeping the outside plain and untouched. And these are my 3 Dollar Tree Geode Christmas Ornaments. I love crystal geodes. I love looking at them. I love the way they sparkle. Just being able to incorporate them into my Christmas decor is just an added plus. I love the fact that something so sophisticated can be made out of a $1.25 plastic Christmas ornament. Although I just have to say, at a quick glance, these do kind of remind me a little bit of Miss Pac-Man. Do you see it? Let me know in the comments if you do. Also, let me know in the comments if you have a favorite of these 3 ornaments and why. I love to hear from you guys. I hope you enjoyed this Medicated Housewife DIY, and if you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It really helps out my channel. Once again, I really appreciate you watching, and a very big thank you to my subscribers. I am so thankful you all take the time to watch, and I wish all of you and your families a very happy holiday season. Until next time, I'm the Medicated Housewife, and crafting is my medication.